Hey everybody, this is Alvin Brown, CEO and founder of the Center for Healing and Peak Performance and Integrated Peak Performance Services. I am also the author of Journey to Personal Greatness, Mind, Body, and Soul. It's a blueprint for life balance and self-mastery. In the insert I'm going to put in here, I'm also the creator of the Journey to Personal Greatness Journal. I'm a big one on journaling. If you ever want to do anything great in this world and in your life, journaling is great. If you want to write a book, you've gone through how many years you've been alive of some amazing experiences. If you don't take a chance to, or take a minute to write these things down, you can't reflect and you can't distill that information down to put it on pages so someone else can learn from you. So journaling is key. I'm gonna always promote that and always push that. Get your journal now, all right? And then start your journey to your own personal greatness. So today, Hump Day Hustle, let's get on with it. It's short and sweet. Today I wanna talk about don't let back pain slow your hustle of your Hump Day Hustle. Don't let it slow it down. All right, the key points: anatomy of the lower back pain. I'm gonna make this short and sweet and distill it down to something user-friendly for you. And the causes of lower back pain, number 2. So the key points of those 2 action steps. I'm gonna talk about some prevention that we can do and give you a couple of key stretches to help you avoid and prevent lower back pain. All right, let's talk about the anatomy. Okay, I want to also get this put in the insert so you can see it. All right, there's a few key points in the lower back that you need to focus on when we're talking about, I see a lot of people come into me and they'll say, my back pain just came out of nowhere and I wasn't doing anything. And think about it, any of you have suffered from back pain, do you remember doing anything sexy that it actually happened to you? Or did it just, it seemed like it came out of nowhere? That's what I typically hear. I wasn't doing anything. Someone was mixing juice, mixing it, and all of a sudden he decided to go the other way and his back went out. Another person was picking up Kleenex. Someone else was kicking snow off the porch and the back went out. It just goes out like this and people think it just came out of nowhere, but it actually didn't. And if you think about the anatomy which we're going to go through, you'll see why. All right, so at the center of the back, of the lower back, and remember the lower back, this pelvis here is your center of gravity. We bend from there. When you think about your walking, all the forces from your leg comes up through your feet and through a foot. When you hit the ground 1 foot, the force goes through your leg and goes up and it lands right in your lower back area, right in the central station here. And when you think about the spine, when you look at your spine, your whole upper body sits on top of what? Your tailbone, and we're going to call it sacrum. So your sacrum, your tailbone sits right here. So it's a center. Everything happens here. And let's think about the front. What goes on in the front? You got your uterus, your bladder, your rectum, everything, the abdominals, everything's all in the front. So this tailbone takes a good little beating. It's supposed to be flexible and sturdy at the same time. So think about all of that going on. This is a busy area. So once this tailbone gets dysfunctional, it starts to affect everything else that sits on top of it. Just think about that for a second. The traffic jam, if this was happening at Union Station, there was a disruption at Union Station or whatever station, the LaGuardia Airport, the main thoroughfare for everything, it's going to mess everything up going in and out of it. And that's what happens here when you mess up your tailbone and it gets out of place. And some people say, your tailbone moves out of place? Yes, it does. It has to be able to move to adapt to all these forces coming in. So at one point, you're going to have your buttock muscle, your glute muscle, and some deeper muscles in here that rotate your leg, or some muscles around the front or back that's going to affect it. And it hangs, it stays out of place. And eventually, it doesn't happen overnight, eventually, boom, your back goes out and you don't quite realize what happened, but it could have happened months ago, weeks ago. You felt a little tweak and the body's so amazing it took care of it and you didn't have to think about it again. All of a sudden, boom, your back goes out. So the anatomy, that's what's going on here. I want you to understand and appreciate what happens in this tailbone and why your back will go out. And some of the causes, let's go to that. What do we do all day? Most of us in this lifestyle that we're living nowadays, most people sit on their butts all day and they load up that sacrum, that load up that tailbone, and you got your whole spine sitting on it. Everything gets tight in here. Then you add some stress to it, some deadlines at work, a couple of other life stresses. And what happens under stress, it's not so much, oh, I'm under stress, and no, muscles tighten up. Muscles don't understand that your deadline's due on Friday and that what it thinks you're fight or flight. It goes into it. So muscles tighten to help protect you. Everything tightens up. You may have an imbalance on one side versus the other, and that causes shifts in your biomechanics, and then your tailbone rotates out of place. So that's one thing. Tight muscles are another thing. Certain exercises, picking things up off the improperly. So bending over out of gravity instead of bending the knees, all those kind of things can cause lower back pain. High stress, lifestyle, gait, biomechanics, so many things can lead to this lower back pain. And like I said, it doesn't come overnight. By the time you feel it, it's the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's what's going on. So that's a little gist of the anatomy. Again, in our downloads page, I'm going to give you a bit more of this detail so you can, those who want to, can absorb it and see what's going on, and a little bit of how to assess your own lower back. So we'll do that in the resource section on our website. So that's some of the causes. Prevention. We'll talk about that. All right, so some of the actually, I'm going to flip back. I'm going to go back to some of my gym goers as well. When it comes to some of the key points I want to touch on when it comes to actually the causes. Before I move to the prevention, the causes. Leg press in the gym. Be careful of that leg press. When you come down, when that weight comes down on you, it really spreads the tailbone and the sacroiliac joint, the joint between the hip bone and the tailbone. It really spreads it because that weight coming down is a huge pressure, and then you have the backboard against you and it's coming down. It really puts a lot of pressure, and that's why a lot of my clients who are the athletic, they'll come in and they'll say, it's that leg press or the hack squat. One of those two will end up bringing me a lot of business. So be careful of the hack squat, be careful of the leg press. All right, so prevention, stretching. Some of the key thing is to keep it stretched. Take breaks at work. There's some key stretches which I'm going to show you that I want you to do at work. Take some breaks and protect your lower back. Get up, walk around, stop loading up that spine so often. Keep your core strong. That's another one. The core needs to be strong, because the minute, and this happens with my bodybuilding clients too, whenever I see my bodybuilding clients and my fitness clients come in with a distended abdomen, maybe from eating, maybe some food sensitivities, which we'll talk about at another time, I notice that their back goes out at that same period of time. And then also adding in, again, leg press, hack squat, all of that, the abdominals, though they look great, there's six packs there, but sometimes what can happen is it gives way because of bloating. It gives way because of the core not being strong, and that allows the back to go out. Stretching your hip flexors is a key thing. We're going to show you some stretches. Keeping those hip flexors stretched, because there's a muscle deep inside the abdominal area that causes the back also to be in pain, and we're going to talk about that in the stretches section. All right, so those are some of the causes. High stress, not stretched enough, biomechanics, foot problems can also cause it as well. Going out of position, out of balance. Some of the prevention is, again, reversing everything I just said, making sure to get up and stretch. Keeping everything toned in the front, the abdominals, stretching out the glutes, taking breaks, reducing a lot of the stress. So a lot of people are starting to switch to stand-up tables now to work from. Those are good too, if you can switch back and forth to stand-up desk that they're working at. So those are some of the key points, and then I'll put more in the bio. Once you download to the download page, you'll get more key steps you can use to prevent lower back pain. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to switch to a little bit of the stretching. I'm going to give you about four key stretches I want you to do to prevent lower back pain. You can do them at work, you can do them anywhere, in the airport, traveling, at the gym, wherever, and it doesn't look too funny. It's nothing you have to get on the floor and look out of the norm. Watch for those. I'm going to show them right now. All right, so here we are. We're back with my man Joe. All right, Joe is going to demonstrate the 4 stretches that I want to show you. Number one is, this one's for the deep rotators in the hip that stabilizes your pelvis. And these are super important, especially when you're sitting all day and putting a lot of load on your lower back and sacrum area, your tailbone. All right, Joe, so what you're going to do is you're going to cross the right leg over the other leg and putting the ankle, outer ankle on the knee. And you're going to keep that left knee down, that right knee down with your hand, right hand, and you're going to chest up, and you're going to go forward trying to bring your chest to your leg. There you go. And you're going to hold that stretch for 60 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds, and that will help a ton to release the muscle around that tailbone or the sacrum area, the deep rotator muscles, and the glute muscle. That'll help to release it. Now, I'm going to show you a variation that I don't want you to do. Joe, try to put your head down to a lot of people try and do this stretch here, but what you want to remember is that you're stretching your back. your back's getting a ton of stretch and you're totally missing the stretch for your pelvis. So what you want to do is chest forward, and you're going to go forward bending from the waist in a nice straight back. The more arch you can get, the better. Alright, next one we're going to move to is the foot on the ground in front of you. And what we're going to do here is Joe is going to go forward towards that leg, same idea, chest to the thigh as he goes forward. And you'll feel this one in your hamstrings and the back of the leg. Alright, good. And you're going to hold that for 30 to 60 seconds. And notice how, and I'll get a really good shot of that, notice how the heel is up on Joe's foot for this one. That one helps to really get in that calf muscle as well and the posterior fascial chain. Alright, and then I'm going to show you the variation. A lot of people will do this where they, again, Joe, try to get your head to your knee. This, again, you'll lose the stretch. You'll notice a big difference. Here you're stretching your back. The more the stretch will be in your back, your erector muscles. So you want to keep that head up, chest forward. Perfect. Alright, so let's stand, Joe. Next one we're going to do is the hip flexor stretch. Alright, so from here, Joe is going to put that right leg, left leg, let's do that left leg, Joe. Left leg forward, right leg back. And we're going to lunge forward, right, keeping the knee. Notice that knee. I want that knee to be not over the toes, to be in line with the heel. And that back leg is straight. And Joe is going to lean back a little bit so you can really feel that hip flexor being stretched. And Joe, just touch that area for me where you're feeling that stretch in the front of the hip. Yeah, right through there. That's where you want that stretch to happen. Alright, that's good. Alright, now let's go on to the, and you can switch sides when you do that. And now let's go on to the quadricep stretch. This one here will get the other hip flexor and really help that. Now try here not to arch your back, Joe. Pretend to arch. You don't want to do that because that puts a lot of stress on the lower back. You want to keep that abs, that core strong, tight, and get that quad stretch out. Alright. Okay, so those are the 4 stretches. You got your rotators, your glute, hamstrings, and calf. And you can do this at work, you can do this anywhere, and again, it won't look too strange. Alright, thanks, Joe. Alright. Alright, so this is all about, this was Hump Day Hustle. I wanted to give you some more value, give some more information. Remember to go to our download page and get this information. It's all about how to not let back pain slow your Hump Day hustle. Alright, so you can get going to the end of the week and get to our Soulful Saturday. For more information, visit our website, tchp.com, journeypersonalgreatness.com. Remember, if we can help you mind, body, and soul, we're here. All our contact information will be there, be on the website, and I'll be scrolling them down below. Until next time, don't let back pain stop you, and be relentless about your pursuit for personal greatness.